Okay, let me make sure that I get my intro in, being that we're 23 minutes in. So, yo, to the go. Hi, everybody. This is Beauty Bubble for Crypto Charts and Chat with Bitcoin Beauty. We're just trying to grab as, I don't know, some of these descriptions, some of the titles. I don't know if they're really working, but we just keep trying different things. And of course, we got very close to the $13,000 marker. And I thought, well, I've got some work to do, so there's no harm, no foul in me coming on for an hour or so and taking a look at kind of the spectrum and seeing a little bit more about the pullback. This is called a stop seeker, and how they had that one candle, that 5-minute opportunity to go ahead and seek some stops out, and then of course the buyers came right back in. So I'll be off and on the mic, and thank you very much for stopping by. And I'll be doing the subscription placard in a couple of moments as well. And I hope that you can hear me. Pretty sure you can. Not a tremendous amount is actually happening. Pardon me. When I've got the ear cancellating headphones in, it's never worked out very well for me. Okay, the tweet deck. Let's get the tweet deck up and going. And you know that I have the 5 columns, and or watching the LuLaRoe for good reason. I've been writing a book now for over a year about this company, and pretty fascinating. So that's why that's there. And so the other columns, of course, are Bitcoin centric. So we have Bitcoin on the far left with no reset for the retweets. So these are all brand new tweets. And then on the right-hand side, the word crypto, same thing, no retweets for me. There we go. The BitMEX Rect, which gives us a heads up on where the liquidations are. Cryptocurrency, which is in the center, we can get a little different view and value set here that comes from this particular hashtag. So the number 4 is the loose one. Sometimes I'll change this with you. Pardon me. That's rare, so get used to it. I guess I should say I need to get used to it. And so yeah, I recommend TweetDeck. Definitely do yourself a favor. It's just a different way of looking at Twitter versus your own kind of personal curation. And looks like, is the guy being extradited maybe? Let's see. So let's go ahead and change the LuLaRoe out to TCE. And this has retweets in it. Okay. So nothing is coming through there. Super, super. Always yummy in my house with a coffee. So let's just make sure that we keep a lookout, right, as this rolls over a little bit, guys. And you'll notice that the channel, we kept the channel in. Some of the other key lines we went ahead and took out just for clarity so that the chart isn't too crazy for those, especially new viewers that are new to charts in general, and then of course are looking at my charts and thinking, "Holy moly, this is no, I don't want to. I don't want to stay here." So we'll try and clean the chart up as much because you can go to a prior video to see the other charts, and they're easy enough to put back in. You'll notice, but right before the fallout for the stop hunt, that there's that little doji. Those are the kinds of things, even though they're 5 minute. Those are the kinds of things that you want to take a look at so that you can have a sign of a reversal pending, right? And it's a slowness. It's where the prior action has become inert. That doesn't mean that it can't power up and continue to go on, but as we look back, we can certainly see that that one little wick. And let me go to the chart itself. Let me take all of my other tabs out. I did a high-low on the coin market watch, and I took us from the worst of the lot to the best of the lot today. Over at cryptocurrency CoinMarketCap, they really got a boost. Talk about smart guys, man. Find themselves on Bloomberg like that. That's just crazy. Anyway, there's CoinMarketCap. That's the go-to. Bloomberg uses them now. Help me. Help me. Doesn't mean that they won't go elsewhere to find their data. But still, people, my goodness. What am I supposed to think about these things? And I'll tell you another thing too, what I'm not crazy about is I use the Telegram, and they are very slow over there. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if they have to wait in line, because everything is free. I mean, these businesses are using these platforms for $0. They don't have to invest in ad campaigns or anything like that. And you don't know if it's like real headlines, brand new headlines, and they don't date them. They don't timestamp them. So you really don't have a time toggle whatsoever to know, okay, is this good? Is this not good? I mean, good as far as, do I have to go back in and look and see, is it brand new news? Because for me, the Telegram, I really like the Telegram in the beginning because the delivery and the timeline of any graphic is just so good. And but I don't know. So anyway, here's a Cointelegraph article that just came out. IOTA price explodes after agreement. IOTA's prices exploded exponentially after its announcement of an agreement to provide B2B data transfer solutions from Microsoft, Fujitsu, and others. It's a Cointelegraph article. And if you head over to their Cointelegraph, they have 56,595 members over there. So it's a big group that rely on that news. So this is from the Telegram. And if I'm not mistaken, they have, here's your IOTA. Remember, I only have 200 characters, so I have to be cautious with the character count. So there we go for IOTA. And, I had spoken about this over at the Coin Scoop last night inside of the chat, that these are really smart people. And there's a lot of, especially in the top tier, David, he's been always, I've asked him a couple of questions. I wanted to see if he could get if he would be willing to be interviewed on the Block Digest, and he was open to it, just having a hard time, scheduling his time. And there's a lot of, I don't know. I don't, when there's really hardworking people, I just can't stand it when some guy needs to put him down because they don't like him, or they think he's this or that or the other. I can just come back with the absolute opposite. He was only ever kind to me. He sounds smart enough. He was able to get IOTA on the exchanges, and he's a tireless worker, and he just keeps, running his business properly. Now, if you don't like the business model, I get that, but in the world of capital, especially venture capital, what you do is that you try and you latch onto the talent, because it might take them up to 8 businesses. 8. Imagine that, and how many years are involved. But what you do is that you look for founders that have, the grit, the guts, the knowledge, the ability. That's what you look for, and then you foster and nurture that, right? And we should be fostering and nurturing each other. And all he ever was very nice to me. So IOTA, me like IOTA. So there you go on that. For me, sometimes it can be just a very personal relationship, and that's when the tide turns, and people start pitting against each other, and then the personality of a founder becomes affected by that. I'm very very quick to pull out, because I know that it's going to take a long time for them to win. But David has worked faster than all of that. He has not been taken down like some others have, as a result of people not liking him or trusting him or what have you. So there we are in the Telegram news, because as it would be, I'd get off track. But the Telegram news, they have a thumbs up, thumbs down over there. This is the Cointelegraph over at, and let me see if I can get the actual name, view channel information, and there we go. And I'll take the whole thing if I can. Take the whole, well, you can't take the info block over at, so let me see if I can get the name. It's the telegraph.me, the t.me, the Cointelegraph. That is their location. Last night I had also seen out of the corner of my eye, Dennis Gartman. I'd seen this somewhere else, and then the Cointelegraph picked it up. Dennis Gartman still won't buy Bitcoin. Scared. The commodities king, Dennis Gartman, continues to say that he will not buy Bitcoin, in spite of recent news that the cryptocurrency has been approved for futures trading on a number of exchanges. That's Dennis Gartman. Follow him around. A very interesting fellow, because he's been in the market forever. And he himself has his own so that's 240 characters, so that's not going to work over here. So let's see, and then I have to put in the word Telegram. So let's see what's going to work for our little thing here. Continues to say he will not buy Bitcoin, period. We'll just do it at that. He will not buy Bitcoin. And then we'll do Telegram space, colon, space. It gives enough air. That's the Telegram. Do the third Telegram. Let's see. I read that article about today's silver. No regrets. Everybody should be following him, of course. And they're doing some data points, some scholastic stuff, December 6th, 2012. So this is some historical stuff. And I think they put that in a graphic instead of a news piece. They call it CT Facts. Hashtag CTFacts. So see, now that might be a good one to put on our tweet deck. CTFacts. Let's see what they get out of it. CT Facts, I believe is what they called. Okay, no recent tweets. CT Facts. Okay, there we go. Yeah, they just do them in little cards. December 6th. December 6th, Bitcoin Central becomes the first Bitcoin exchange licensed as a European bank. A CT Fact. CT Fact, and they just keep people are retweeting the CT Fact. However, it should be, we need to get it not from the retweets, we want to get it actually from the Cointelegraph. But look at that, they have all these people retweeting. So that's pretty fun. Good for them. Very cool for that. Okay, back to Telegram. Let me grab a couple of others. So that's on Cointelegraph. On the news, bitcoin.com. Let's see what we've got here. And pick something. South Korea financial regulators ban Bitcoin futures trading. It appears that South Korea is bowing out of the race for Bitcoin futures trading, leaving the field wide open to the Americans and Japanese. So let me grab this one. This is coming from newsbitcoin.com. Newsbitcoin.com. Of course, I'll follow up on all of these. $215 characters. Bowing out of the race for Bitcoin futures trading. I'll go ahead and see if we can get through it from there. Yep, there we go. I'm going to check out that piece of news. I can see them coming in and out, though. They're banning it, or the news is that they're banning it now. But okay, here's the Algory project. I'm keeping an eye on that. Let's see here, Algory, now you're registered during the subscription. You declared the following. If the above data is correct, please inform us. Remember. They send me an email. Okay, so they're just going back and forth. There's 838 members. And okay, go over to Crypto Charters, technical analysis. It's Crypto Charters TA. They have 6,871 members. And a variety of people chart over here. And each chart is a little bit different than the other. Some have lots of annotations. Some are charts that all of us have become familiar with because of the way that they are coded. And I can't say that outside of just looking for anything that's just a little different. And the way the Telegram works too, you can never tell. So those are December 1st, so those are too late. I wish that you could add the date somehow. So there's been one chart that's put out from Dr. Helmut. And he says, also notice that the inverted head and shoulders pattern on fun. So he's covering fun. That's F-U-N. May be interesting to watch closely. This hashtag's crypto altcoin Bitcoin. And 1,319 people have taken a look at this chart. So that's Crypto Charters TA. And their Telegram is once again t.me/crypto charters. And then you'll find their channel over there. It's all fun. The next one is the Trezor. The Trezor Telegram channel has 984 members. And I like their channel, you know, because they talk a little bit of tech, customer service, the builders, the coders. It's a really cool community over there. And the group info for Trezor is Trezor t.me, Trezor Talk. The Trezor Talk, Trezor, and the word talk. And as I said, they have quite a few members that are over there, 984 members. All right, Sensei, I will go ahead and just move myself over from Sensei. And then if you really like to see things in action, you will follow Work in Progress. Work in Progress. And you will find them by visiting t.me WIP chat. It's telegram.me WIP chat, meaning work in progress. There's 761 members over there, and all they do are coders. They're coders that are, what it kind of acts like is a, did you do it? You know, and I'm working on this, and then I'm going to be shipping it here, and then I ran into this problem, so I won't be shipping it until that time. So it's kind of a self-accountability Telegram group for, just so that you know, if I visit every day in a couple of hours, I get hundreds and hundreds of messages, and from this, I can see generally in a very nomad list approach, which is that these are coders from all over the world that the Pieter Levels has attracted in his life. He was a Product Maker of the Year. So there's just all these really, really very cool people that are just working really hard, and the projects that they're working on is something that I monitor. So that is Work in Progress. And of course I have a Ruby Crossbot, and Chart Chat Connect has a channel over there as well. But okay, so let's do some tick by tick, if you don't mind. I'll go ahead and get out of Ruby. We'll work into the beta chart so that we do the tick by tick. And we'll let this run for just a little bit. Got a little bit of an Elliott 5 here, which should have been one of the signals that the end of this rundown is coming. And we're just kind of looking to see if it's going to go and take us below $12,654. We had a great opportunity earlier when I was just coming on for us to push up towards 13,000. And it's not like it's been a violent rejection of it. There's been some 4x4s here, 4x4 dojis here. So a little bit of dust being put on the chart. But of course, we're still out getting lower lows. So until those lower lows end and we get higher lows, right? You know what the drill is. Get higher lows and lower highs in order to establish a pattern. And then from there, we can have a little bit of an idea. But right now, price is staying steady at the 20 base for the beta chart and underneath the mean. And of course, the risk altogether, the risk spectrum, is the full swing of the low. You want to take it to the EMA or to the upper Bollinger, or better yet, if you really have steel, then you take it all the way to the 80 base, and that's your spectrum. If you think it's going to go long, take it from the spectrum, from the 20. You know that you're going to get a hiccup at the 40, another hiccup at the 55. I'm not saying all this very scientifically, but 55 is 60 to the 80, and that is a full advancement of price. So price is meant to continue to go down, then this flag will present itself and then will rotate around. And so we will then get lower lows and lower highs. And this is all below the 20 base. Any other chart, that 20 base will have told you that the run is over. And that's the clever thing about this beta. And one day we'll pack it up and ship it, as they say. But right now it's just something that I look at keenly so that I can bring you the tick by tick. Usually it's on the 15 minute, which is where I do most of my work, is on the 15 minute. Okay. Let's see here. So we'll just keep it on this. If you guys want to see what this looks like as it comes down and around. Last night we covered the fact that price can come outside of the Bollinger Bands, but always seeks to come back in. You'll notice that came out, sought to come back in. So let's see what's going to happen here. Oh, that's weird. Let me rewind this. There we go. Okay. That puts me. I had to refresh the YouTube. So we're trading at $12,510, clearly off of the attempt at 13,000. So we have to go in both directions, just so that you know. And all right, I'm going to be putting myself on mute so that I can get some idea of what's happening here. So, as I said in my tweet, I'll be off and on the mic if you're wondering. Just make sure you can use the chat if you'd like, if you're wondering, what's going on. And so that's where we're at right now. Kind of busy working. Check back with you guys later. Everything okay? All right, because it's 11:30. Oh. Okay, I'll come back on mic for just a moment. Hi, everybody. I was hoping maybe Zupcoin would be stopping in. If they're here, hi, guys. The best that I can do now is do a copy and paste, and you'll see I'm calling it Zupcoin Says. But you let me know if you don't like the way that that looks or the representation, of Zupcoin. You let me know because I'm not too certain what you plan on doing once you take it over to Twitter. What your relay is going to be over at Twitter. If you follow BitMEX Rept, they have like emojis and all of this, kind of, crazy talk around when there's certain action. So I know that your product is completely different, but you might be tempted over on Twitter to elaborate on the I guess the commands or I don't know exactly how you're going to do your Twitter. There's a couple of people that I follow that do auto tweets from their API, and they're always adding some other little zhuzh to their Twitter so that it doesn't get lost, and also that people become interested in watching it. So right now I'm just calling it Zupcoin Says. I can only grab 3 instruments. That seems to be, if I do any more than that, then we run into the 200 character limit over here on YouTube. And so, okay, that deals with Zupcoin. And then I'll be talking about my disclaimer and the whole notion of that. Why would a trader go live with their thesis, their thoughts, their charts? And is this a hashtag make money with beauty, right? Have I been on this trade all this time for hashtag make money with beauty, which is something that I talk a lot about, people avoiding the whole track and trade, outreach. It's very, very dangerous territory. And I really do think that you have to be a licensed professional. And most that are licensed professional, the disclaimer, even my disclaimer as a pedestrian, is very deep, and I'm going to read it out loud so that we know, so that we can talk about the showcasing and highlighting and improving people's you know ability to find that which can make them money. And I think that it can be a small business. I'm writing a book, it's been a year now, about LuLaRoe, and which is a clothing company, and all the things that you go through when you're selling other people's products. And my good friend that's in the chat here actually creates his own products. So I know he probably has a lot to say about, what one can do and what does money mean to you when that's your forecast, and it's a very difficult subject because most people have their own idea of what money is, what it can do, where it comes from, let alone how to manage it and all of the other things that deal with money. There's a lot of symbolism in money. There's a lot of just odd. Okay. And I only have things that I can share from my own experience, and so maybe we can talk a little bit more about this, and I'll go back and forth between one of the chat guys and let's see if we can maybe have a discussion about money, the symbolisms, the spirituality behind money. I do have this kind of neat way that you can respect your money, and that seems to work, and it can be very powerful. It's a little bit of the secret. It's a little bit of maybe like mysticism debunked, over money and the different things that you can do in order to make sure that money can find you. I mean, that's really what it's about. And because it's there and it's there and it's available. If you can hear my voice, that means that you've had contact with money. So, and I don't think that unless there's one computer in a village somewhere, which I have heard and I've seen about. Hi, everybody. Then I get it, right? Their struggles. Look at Puerto Rico and how Mother Nature dealt with their entire way of life, right? Changed over a course of a couple of days. And here we're trying to break out just a little bit, speaking about money. The trade is at $12,872, and maybe just by me speaking about it, we will get to our $13,000 mark because we've been streaming for 2 hours. Okay, so that deals with my chat partner. That deals with Zupcoins. You guys definitely need to follow them. If you have a Facebook account, they do have a messenger bot. That's how I think I found out about them. Maybe even through, it was, no. It was over at Botlist, I believe. And I'll put these links. They'll be in the chat. The chat is archived and made part of the comment section of all of my videos. So I do my chat a little differently than most people do. So I have a question. Hey, I'm from the Coin Scoop. Well, very nice. Aren't they really fun? The Coin Scoop, guys, is kind of a late night talk show, but they are very cool, and they look at alternative coins, always relating it back to Bitcoin. They take a look at some news, and then they look at altcoins. They look at some of the ICOs that are coming up against the news. It's very, very interesting. And I love them. They just have this New York vibe. They're laid back. They're very fun. And the chat room has its own, personality because they don't have a panel. It's the two of them on camera with great sound, and then they have a screen share of the white paper or the chart or the news piece, etc. So a very simple, lovely time over at the Coin Scoop. And let me grab what I'll do, because I don't think they have a vanity link on their YouTube channel, but you can follow them if you just kind of want to, kind of get an idea of really how young they are, meaning that how they joined actually their Twitter. They're opening up more social channels, but the Coin Scoop is here. And if you go over to their YouTube, trying to get all this in, then you'll also see the other areas of social. I think that they've started a Discord. They plan on doing a Telegram. They're going through the whole social channel spectrum, and they're just really cool. So Gambling has come in, and he says he's new to my stream, and that, do I have any thoughts on Litecoin? And I do. I'll actually move the chart over in just a moment. And when they stream at night, it's morning where he is. So that's really neat, right? You get, we go to sleep in the U.S. We go to sleep having heard their broadcast, and then there you are. It's so cool to that you get to hear them in the morning tomorrow. So it's really neat. But yeah, I'll go over to Litecoin in just a moment. Let me clear my throat too. Hold on. Okay. So what we'll do is let's take a look at the tick by tick for Litecoin, LTC. And I always do the Coinbase. So we go LTC, I'm going to check out the Coinbase, the LTC USD pair on Coinbase right here. It'll be on the tick-by-tick beta chart. And we now see that Coinbase is at $101.59, and I believe they're off of their high, and we'll go into the 1 hour chart so that we can, actually let me take the chart up a little bit further than that so we can see where they're at. And don't care about the markings on the chart whatsoever, okay? Just want to see in the 4 hour chart where we're at. These are 4 hour bars. Okay, so we got a reading of a high. Of course, then it was followed up with another high. And so we have not returned to that high. We're actually threading, or what I call threading, the 80 base on the 4 hour. So this is the highest of where RSI goes, but so that you can see that price can actually go above and below. We got protected by the median. It slapped through, and probably in the bigger time frames, we have some heat-seeking people trying to wipe out any stops that were down here. The buying came back in, but then we got some other readings of the top, and then now we're really just kind of in wait mode. Now this is on a 4 hour chart. You can see some of my markings that I do have. Anything, this is free market for me in the day, 45.53. I've had other markings, of course, on my Litecoin. You'll notice way down and down and down and down. These are all areas in which I was working the chart to see when we were coming out of the base, the bigger base. And if you had been following my charts, then you would have seen that alerts, if price had crossed $14.29, that there was a real public. There's been public charts of mine out there on Litecoin. So let's get a little closer in so we have a better clue about what's happening as we have this leading edge into the Bitcoin offering. Remember, it's not going to be the Litecoin offering. I think that some people are thinking, let me move in. So we'll do a Condor's pass on Litecoin. So that's the 4 hour. So we'll do a 2 hour, now that you guys kind of know where price is or was. There's that wick that came down, and it came right to the 243, which is very typical. So this is always the threat, the 243, which is the deepest EMA that I have on this beta chart. On Ruby, it's a fixed EMA, 243 on the 60-minute bar. So here we are, and it came down. So this is always a threat to your spectrum of risk. You always have to include the 243 when you are looking at an entry as a potential that price can come down to retest the 243. Okay, so that's the 2 hour. And just so that you can kind of get your eyes together, here we are in the 60-minute, okay, the 1 hour bar. You can see, look at this waterfall effect here. So there's plenty of time as price came through, crashing through median, right? I mean, this is a crazy ass. On the 60-minute, of course, look at this violation of the 243. Very, very dangerous. But we have we have higher lows down here. So something that you can do, and you can do this on your own chart, and you're benefiting from me just kind of talking about it openly here. Let me go into the, let's see here. Do I have a Twitter? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got a Twitter. It's Beauty Bubble. That's it. It's Heart Beauty Bubble. I do have a Twitter. Oh, I'm sorry if I didn't see that for a moment because I'm speaking about the chart. So pardon me about that. Okay, so let's go back to the chart. Okay, remember we're on a 1 hour bar right now. LTC USD Coinbase on a 1 hour bar. There's that violation, right, of the 243. It's on the 1 hour now. Remember, this is not a fixed EMA right now, the beta. So what we can do in order to manage, you know, what we want out of the move, and of course we don't talk about your trade specifically, but let me get colorization right on this one. And color, and we'll just do black, and it's on a dotted line. Okay, so it's a ray tool. So I pick up this wick, right, the wick low, and we can perfect this a little bit better if you want to, and grab the next one, which is that one's okay. So look at this, the ray tool line, okay, so this ends up being a support line, is parallel now with the 243. So we want to keep an eye on that. So the threat truly is that price will come and literally float down to the 243. That is the risk of the entire move right now. Even if you were to get in, you have to accommodate the trade coming down to the 243, which is 94.96. If Litecoin was to register below $100, I don't know why we wouldn't see a re-entry into Litecoin, because it's still socially, it's still perceived as being, the little brother of Bitcoin. And I know that there's charts out there that do comps, comparison charts to see, is it really, now that it's not really following along. But what you can learn from this, especially if you do this trend line and how the 243 is coming in, is that that there's a threat for lower prints. Like you can't deny that, right? And you can never deny that. And there's a couple of other things that we can do now. Let me move into the 30-minute, and now we can see that perforated line, right? That's that trend line that we were talking about. Get a little closer look here. We have lower lows here. So, but do those lower lows allow for us to have a channel? Well, not really. The channel line has been broken. So we can build a trend line from here to here. That's lower lows. But in order for the channel to be perfect or perfected, you have to take a clone of it and move it up. And if that does not match up, then that is not a channel to the downside. Okay? That can't actually be channel to channel to channel line. But we will do it so you can see, just so that we can prove it out. We're going to go here to here. You see the apex here? See the drawdown. So the algos are picking up something. But that takes price, down here to 90. Now, can it survive the 90? Anything below the 90, I would just put a marker on the chart that 100, or like 99 and 90. And these are concerns, what are called price break alerts, or break alerts, potential break lines. For myself, I would not want to withstand that with Litecoin at all. It has to maintain. And we are looking at 101.58, so it's very delicate here. And then it went down to 99.13. That's your low right there in that wick. So definitely make a marker on that wick, okay? Right there. Folks. And the tool that you use for that marker is called a horizontal ray. And because I do mine in white, you won't see it, but it's called a horizontal ray. And then you can go into the settings and actually perfect it on the settings. Trading view. Okay, so that's a 30-minute bar. Let's go into the 15-minute, because now you kind of know what's happening. And, this is all fine and good. This is a good oscillation. We saw that from the bigger time frame, that it was literally lacing. And the 243 is holding, except for recently we got this violation and a valiant effort to come back and over. If the 243 holds on the 15-minute, holds price down, it has no other place to go. Look at this. Lower highs, lower lows. So do you see this now? So we're really, the resolution of this could have been the top. You have one ledge, two ledge, three ledge. We're not going to get so like crazy with all the specifics, but just take a look at the pattern. Pulls back, apex, small right shoulder, tries to survive the 243, can't get above the apex, and it falls in on itself. Do you see this? Okay, you can see it if I open up the Elliott. Left shoulder, apex, small double bottom right shoulder, can't survive, can't move above, and here we go, down. And now we're starting another pattern. That's the 15 good. 12,881 for the Bitcoin right now, and then we'll move into the tick of Litecoin. And look at this on the 1 minute. What is it doing? It's weaving the 243. So it could be perceived that it's just resting here. However, if there is a migration where people will take their profits away from Litecoin to have a chance at the Bitcoin, especially in other markets, and we got a little heads up that there will be other legacy pairs that will be made available. So we have a squeeze right here. So that's the full risk spectrum right here. So we'll keep an eye on it if you'd like. Let me see what the chat has to say. I'm sorry that I go on and on with this, so, but I hope that does that help you understand how you take a look at any name? You know, you start off with the bigger time frame, and then you just drill down and drill down, and you do have to talk yourself through it. Because what happens is that the mind, if you don't talk yourself through it, then the mind will convince itself that it's right, and you'll never have a bias towards, the truth of it, because the mind will rattle. Your ego will come up with all these ideas as to why you're right and the trade is wrong, and the trade will always find you out. So you have to be curious and open-minded, and always be going back and through and across all the time frames. Have a great chart in front of you, but always have a couple of other little, secret sauce things that you can look at that interest you. It has to interest you. It's not my trader rules, how I am about the lazy eye. So we do have to know, the biggest thing with Litecoin, I think, is that we do have to know from where it came, and let's not get so ahead of ourselves. Charlie's gone, and in a way it's kind of socially rudderless. It has been, and so it's been lifted up by other, what do they say, all boats, what is it called, all tides lift the boat, so the boat got lifted. And it's a very sentimental trade. A lot of traders from the very early days held on and miserably held on, and really took a hit. Some of them just couldn't hold on any longer. And if you had been listening to every word of Charlie's, outside of his ability to troll the internet with perfection, he did give us a heads up as to when he thought that the trade had exhausted itself in that base. And you can go back and look at my charts as to where I found that the entry was sweet enough. So, but good. Okay, so does anyone have any questions about my thinkings about Litecoin on the tick by tick? What's happening is that Bollinger is squeezing. It's now, remember, we always want to look at the time. It's now 12:34, and I'll do a quick Zepcoin on the Litecoin. Pardon me. Pardon me. Okay, good. Okay, there we go on that. Okay, take that away. My disclaimer. Okay, let me go over and grab the Zupcoin first for Litecoin. And let's see. We want to do LTC. Well, I guess we'll just do the LTC. We'll do the last one that we did, the LTC to USD, beats CH, LTC, and Dash. Should probably change this 3 up there. Let's go IOTA. I wonder if IOTA is on here. I know that they're on the exchange. I just don't know if Zupcoin have the IOTA now. Pretty sure they do. And we do. And there we go. Alrighty. So see on Bitfinex, on the API call, Bitfinex is already underneath. So here's the Zupcoin, guys. Remember, it's a messenger bot, so the only benefit that you would get from taking the coins that I am getting response or posts from is just because I think that the guy that is building Zupcoin is just really very sweet person, and he makes it fun to be over there, and I think that he's doing a really good job. It's just a matter of more of us using it and becoming familiar with using messenger bots to give us this kind of data that we're interested in and in the way that we want to have it displayed. So of course over here on YouTube, I just need the three coins. So there we go. All right, so what are we seeing? What do you think that we're seeing here? Right, we have the stop hunts. Remember, the price does not like to stay outside of the Bollinger. We had the squeeze, and there's always a resolution. We knew that the trade looked heavy from the upside. We know that the trade has got to hold on to the 100 print. So somebody's trying to do something crazy over here. We have the recall where the buyers come in. Remember, the red candle on my beta chart is a seller's bar, and the black bar is a buyer's bar. So the rule about Bollinger is that when there is a pinch, there will be a resolution. So I hope that that helps. Okay, let me get over to my disclaimer. And I'll read, I have so many of these out here, but if on 3, 2, 1, the disclaimer reads, let me throw this in the chat. I'm reading the disclaimer. And 12:37 p.m. EST. And the disclaimer is too long to put in the 200 characters. Okay, here we go. Please be advised that all content in my charts are meant for entertainment and educational purposes only. Trading crypto asset classes, stock, bond, currency, commodity, and futures markets can be rewarding, but is also risky. Be aware that you can lose money and in some ways lose more than you have. It can also be profitable, but not without significant risks. You are responsible for your own independent investment transactions. These charts are not an investment advisory service. I encourage you to seek professional advice in regard to your own financial decisions. Information you may get from these charts, or you hear about being discussed in other chat rooms or Bitcoin forums or team groups, may not reflect my opinion at the time. The chart and its content is not a solicitation, nor an offer for professional investment advice, nor is it an offer to buy or sell crypto asset classes, stocks, bonds, currencies, commodities, and or futures. Now I have another part of the disclaimer that talks about affiliate links. I'm not affiliated in any shape or form with any pay model. I do have a address, just like every other smart person has for years. And actually, my very first donation was made for a tweet that I posted on a cheese company, actually paid me in Bitcoin for the tweet. And it was part of a beta project. So I do have a Bitcoin address, and there is actually on my Nightbot a little bit of information about how to access that, and if you wanted to support the outreach, certainly feel free to do so. But the disclaimer is pretty much that if I do, or if I am under any affiliate relationship, the viewer and of course everyone following me will know about it post haste. And but currently we're just still playing around. My header, as you know, like I've put recently, that the space is available for advertisers. Right now, my header is supporting this really great coder builder. And let me get you his information, or you can head over to my YouTube. So I am trying to use the real estate that is granted us. And it's how much is a Bitcoin worth? This is another product hunt maker of the year. And it's called How Much is a Bitcoin Worth? And it's very cool. And he released How Much is a Bitcoin Worth the last maybe 12 days or so. Not too sure exactly how old it is, but it's a very cool site. And you'll notice that it's on my landing page banner. And is how much is a Bitcoin worth? So we were laughing about this because it's kind of like, oh, okay, spend time with beauty, right? Over the last 24 hours, the Bitcoin index has actually increased in value $985.20. So spend time with beauty. And there we go. Alrighty. So it's really cool. How much is a Bitcoin worth? What he has sought to do is, of course, he pulls the API and he gives you the price, and it's all really pretty and fun because it's not really financially based, yeah, meaning that it's not cluttered with finance. And then he tells you what's available on Amazon and how many you could buy. So, like the Nintendo Switch, for example, you can buy, if you were to buy them right now, you could buy 42 of them for 1 Bitcoin. If you bought the Sphero Star Wars BB-8, you could buy 84 of them. And you could buy, if you can believe it, right now, you could buy 8 13-inch MacBook Pros, 8 of them. So he's really, really cool. He has one little button that takes you over to Coinbase. And of course, he's got a Twitter, Facebook, and you can always write him. So he's really cool. Mubs. Love him so much. So definitely check that out. Okay, so how much is a Bitcoin worth? All right, we had received a little bit of news that GDAX was going to be changing up its limits, its withdrawal limits. So doing some kind of cross research on that. Okay, so we'll keep it on, you guys want me to keep it on Litecoin? So you can see we're trading at 101.02 right now. 101.02. So just let me know. And then we're even on the day right now. So we are exactly where we started off for the session. Okay, so let me take a little bit of a break, grab some water, and I'll be back with you guys in a little bit. I am pretty sure that you guys didn't hear any of that. So it's a good thing that I put that all in the chat. So you didn't hear the disclaimer. I'm so glad that I put it in the chat. Disclaimer reading at 12:37. Okay, so here we go. Here's the acceptance of the lows. So people thought maybe they got a little bit of a discount. And of course, the trade is also registering that it went at even on the day. And it is quarter till 1 o'clock. Okay, so now I'm on my break. Now I'm on my break. See, it doesn't tell me anywhere that I'm on mute unless I keep the Hangout window open. Okay, be right back. Okie dokes. I'll be back on mic and for about 10 minutes, and then I'll go back on mute. Okay, for about 10 minutes. Okay, so everyone knows on the chat is archived, guys. I pop out the chat, I make a copy, and the copy is made part of a comment down below. So even if you were to drop in and then you have to drop off, just so that you know, the reason that I'm doing that is that maybe over time there'll be links that you missed out on, or that you just want to scroll through and kind of see what was talked about and some of the things that were shared. So we think that that's a good solution to for the replay viewers, because when we go live, the replay viewer misses out entirely on the chat, which is kind of not right. So that's the solution we've come up with. And actually, I probably could be doing a living chat as well. So for example, if I was to pop out the chat now, I could copy it and take it over to Google Plus, and then you guys could actually pick it up from there if you were the replay visitors who don't benefit from being able to scroll back into the chat very far. As the broadcaster, I get to scroll back as long as I want. I think I better pop out my chat right now. Let's make sure about that. Let me do that. See how far back I can go. Ah, isn't that interesting? Because I didn't pop it out early enough. So now that it's popped out, let me bring this down. Ooh. So I wonder what happened. Maybe. Yeah, 11:36. And of course, I always do a welcome on my chat, so that's why I know that we're not picking up the entire chat. That sucks. I don't know what happened there. Let me see if I scroll back in these chat sidebars are golden. Okay, I did the Teespring for the bit shirts. So yeah, something happened. I showed you guys the liquidations. We did the news. We did our Zupcoin says early on, way back at 10:30, and we have been live since 9:59. So it did not, the pop-out chat didn't give us everything. That's not cool. To figure out what's going on with that. So is the broadcaster in the live chat, not the pop-out? You can scroll back all the way, but not in the pop-out. What I should do about that? Okay, all right, so who's ready for the money talk? I won't do the money talk unless somebody puts something in the chat that you want to hear about the money talk. The money talk is about to start. But you have to check in the chat. This is when it's going to sound very classroom-like, and Beauty's trying to control us, and she's the mother goose, and she's the grandmama, and all of this kind of stuff, okay? So, but it's probably better for it to happen at the very beginning of my broadcaster, like within the first hour or so, than it is for me to start talking about it 3 hours in. Hmm, it's true. The market's attitude towards these things is just get me involved in a cryptocurrency product. So that's why we need Litecoin, to maintain its dignity in light of the fact that Bitcoin is at $12,825. And we have had liftoff now over the 243. So let's just see, coming in 1 o'clock. So lunch is, well, we'll give lunch another, I don't know, maybe even up to 1:30, because we're coming into the weekend. So people are probably running a little late and frantic for their lunches now. Um, I'm not running the tweet deck right now either. Just so that you know, it can be kind of finicky. If it gets too bogged down, I think it starts to act funny. Right. And then the Telegram hasn't been pushing out anything either. And also, I want to remind everyone to really take care of themselves this holiday. I don't know what the flu numbers are or whatever, but if you're on Twitter and you see people that are feeling down or you haven't heard from them in a little bit, make sure you reach out and see how they're doing, because there's a lot of in Los Angeles, for example, there's a lot of dangers with smoke. Obviously, smoke and ash, and all these things combined with the flu can really be terribly dangerous for your health. And then any other thing, if cold snaps come on too fast and you're not dressed properly, et cetera, et cetera, right? Or if you're traveling a lot, you can pick up all sorts of weird kinds of things that you can't cure yourself from. Another thing is that if you're doing any kind of local shopping and you're touching whatever, just keep your hygiene up. It can help. Um, but really keep your health. Okay. Yeah, it's sort of kind of. Does it kind of feel a little weird to you guys right now, or is it just me? Does it feel a little weird? Weird. The related for Bitcoin right now is Bitcoin, Bitcoin price, Ethereum, Litecoin, and guess what? Bitcoin bubble. We got in there, guys, on Twitter. These are the related searches. Always check out the search phrases over on Twitter. But we got in. Um, let's see. Bitcoin price, Ethereum, Litecoin. It's so sad that these come out like this. Bitcoin bubble. Wow, we got in there. How'd that happen? Oh, that's right. I was ahead of the time. Ahead of the times. Okay, Bitcoin. Ultimate trading with IQ option. Pay for pizza. Join our pre-sale. Pay for pizza with Ethereum. Join our pre-sale at Beluga Pay. Beluga Pay. Wow. Bitcoin frenzy like no one other is gripping South Korea. Yes, yes, yes. Um, collectible card games, cutting out the middleman, more card games. I can buy Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency in India. Someone is asking. Bitcoin God, more Bitcoin God stuff. Learn how to start up with Bitcoin that anyone can start out with to get started today. Learn how to start. Start and start. Hackers hold local government computers for ransom and demand Bitcoin. Again? Did they really? Dennis Gartman says no. Okay. I'm going to go down just a little bit more and then we will take a little break and then we'll come back and do the money talk. Okay. Nobody has checked in. All right, so because we've been streaming for 3 hours, I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll end it here. I'll give myself a little bit of a break, and if we start really moving, because we're at 12,825, then we'll go ahead and repower back up, okay? That seems fair to everybody. So thank you very much. I'll make sure that you, actually, you know what I'm going to do? Let me grab the whole chat first before I lose it. Post. And we will grab that post and put it in the live chat here. This is the archive of the whole chat. And that works out pretty well. And then I'll do the last placard. So let me get that up. Go ahead and put the Hangout on silent mode. Okay. I'll do just like that for just a moment while I grab my show card, which is under here. To create a file just for this. Open this up. Open that down. Open it. Here. Kitchen window. All right, it's going to be bright and white. I'm sorry about that, but this is to reminder, where you're at and who you came by to talk to, and I'm asking for you to subscribe if that's your thing. And I do try and do daily videos, almost daily videos, certainly more recently. But I do have over 500 videos on YouTube. At the end of January, I will have been on YouTube for 8 years. And there are many social channels that you can kind of follow a little bit about my work. I'm certainly no Pulitzer Prize winner, not a Grammy Award winning artist or anything of that nature, but I do try and make a little bit of impact just for the persona and my ideas on the beautybubble.blogspot.com, chartchatconnectwordpress.com, which was the website to begin with. Beauty Bubble, of course, over on Twitter and Instagram, which we are not posting quite yet. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do over there, but we do have an account called Beauty Bubble Live, as you can figure out maybe what that might be about. So, thank you very, very much. You know, you stand counted towards the 10,000 viewer count challenge that YouTube actually put on all of us, the small YouTubers, that we do have to reach 10,000 lifetime views to have all of our features back. And because they're taking away a lot of the features of the smaller YouTubers, so that's why we're trying to be very creative with the use of our space here, the value that the channel brings uh, to you, even though I can't be on mic all of the time. At least I can do the tick by tick chart so you can kind of see where your interest is, and engaging in the chat and having Nightbot and just using as many attributes as I can as YouTube continues to take away these important feature sets for people that want to go live, you know. So this has been Beauty Bubble Live, Crypto Charts and Chat with Bitcoin Beauty, and thank you very much, and I'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.